Hey, this is Jerry Fetta, CEO and founder of Wealth Dynamics, coming to you with another Fetta Facts, where I give you all facts, no opinions. You are not going to want to miss when I'm talking about investing from one of the greats. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. Jerry Fetta here. So every week I do a segment called Fetta Facts, and I teach you guys things that are facts. They're not my opinions. They're proven, and it's stuff that works. It's about building wealth, right? And so what I want to do is something a little bit different. Okay. And these are still going to be Feta Facts. I'll still be doing my normal thing, but I want to share with you guys where I get some of the information that I get when it comes to finances and wealth. Right. And a little bit of my backstory with this, for those of you that don't know, I've always been an avid reader, an avid student. In school, I was always in books. I was always reading. And one of my favorite things to read about was biographies, people who were already successful. They did great things in history. I loved reading those stories because it's like learning from real life heroes. Right. And so, I wrote my book, Blueprints Financial Freedom, and I always clarify, like, guys, even in the blueprint book, this is not stuff I came up with. Right. This is not my own thing. Like you'd be really worried and probably not very smart if you were like, I'm taking all of my money advice from someone that's in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, even their 50s. Right. There's people that are alive today that when it comes to money, I might admire them, but I don't listen to them because they're still alive. They could still mess it up. Right. And so I study people who are already dead, right? They're already dead. They're wealthy, right? And they've got something that they can teach me because they learned, they were successful. They were one percenters, right? So that's really where I get most of my financial information from. And I have this concept I've been working on. It's the Wealth Dynamics Founding Fathers, right? People that I've learned from. There's 6 or 7 key ones, and I've really been working on this list, and I finally got it finalized. But I want to share with you guys a quote on investing. Okay, and this is a quote from someone that I respect a lot in the investing world. It's a man named Charlie Munger. Very recently, he died. He was in his 80s or 90s, and he was the business partner of Warren Buffett. Right. And now we all know Warren Buffett. We're like, okay, Warren Buffett, the billionaire. At one point, he was the richest man in the world. He's always in the top 5. Right. And we don't hear very much about Charlie Munger. But if you've ever watched the shareholder meetings and you've seen the interviews with Charlie Munger is the best. Right. Like he's the most outspoken. I think he's the most real. Warren Buffett always has these really politically correct sounding answers, and it's usually a softer message. And I've noticed with Warren, he often says other things than what he does. Charlie Munger is not that way. Charlie Munger is cut and dry. He tells you like it is. What he says is what he does. What he does is what he says, right? So there's a quote that I want to share with you guys today to base today's Feta fact off of. Okay, and the quote goes like this. The big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. Okay, the big money is not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. Now, I want to talk about what that means, right? We talk about big money. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video, right? What would be the difference between, big money and little money? Right? Or just regular money. Like we have to look at that, and that's all relative. Like somebody that doesn't have a lot of money, you might think anything is big money. Someone that has a lot of money, you might think, well, big money, it needs to be a higher number. It needs to be, a bigger number for me to get excited and say, well, that's big. Right? So I want you to think about, like, in your own world, what is your definition of big money? Right? Big money. And is that 100 grand that comes in from an investment? Is that 10,000? Is that a million? Is that billions? Like, what's your number? Right? Now, keep in mind, Charlie Munger is a billionaire. Okay. So he knows big money. Like he's been in the billionaire club for a while now. And so when you talk about big money from someone who's already a billionaire, I want you to take that in context. Now, again, what is this word big? Right? This is an adjective. He's describing a noun. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. We learned this in school, right? Big money. He specifies the type of money. He didn't just say money is from waiting. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say fast money comes from waiting, right? He says big money, right? Now, I want you to think about what is it that you're looking for when it comes to investing? Has it been fast? Oh, it needs to be fast. Has it been anything? Like, oh, my expectation is just something. Has it been that you're going to lose? Like, what are your expectations when it comes to money? Because when you look at a billionaire, he's not saying fast. He's not saying immediate. He's saying big, right? He has a very specific expectation of his money. Okay. And this is really important to look at. So again, the big money is not in the buying and the selling. And this is something that I want to whiteboard out because this is really two different philosophies here. There's buying and selling. And then there's what he's talking about. Right, so let's do some wealth dynamics whiteboard time here. Right, so what is buying and selling? I talk about this in several of my books and in my content. That's what I call appreciation investing. Right, so I buy a thing A, and I buy it at one price. And I hope that I can go over to this person over here and I can sell it to them and they're going to pay more money than I did. Right? So he's saying that that's not where the big money is. It's not in the buying and selling. So buying and selling, let's give examples of that. I buy a piece of real estate property with the idea that I'm going to flip it and sell it to someone else. He's saying you're not going to make big money doing that. I buy precious metals, gold and silver, with the idea that I'm going to buy it at one price and then I'm going to flip it and sell it to someone else at a higher price, trading. He's saying that's not the big money. You're not going to make big money doing that. Trading foreign currencies, right? I've done that. I didn't make big money. I actually lost money doing that, right? So he's saying this appreciation, buying here and selling here, that's not where the money is made. What is he saying in the quote? Let's go back to the quote. He's saying, the big money is not in the buying and selling, but in the waiting. He says, but in the waiting. So the word but, that's a contradictory statement. It's saying, no, it's not this. It's not. Everything before the word but is being disagreed with. Right? I don't know if you knew this. If someone's like, oh, let's say your kid, oh, I was going to do my chores, but everything prior to but is now canceled. Right? So, but it's not in the buying and selling, but it's in the waiting. So he's saying it's not the buying and selling, it's the waiting. So what does he mean by waiting? Right? Because we have this thing as human beings where we want everything now. We want our food now. We want our stuff on Amazon now. We want the mail to arrive now. We want traffic to end now. We want tomorrow to get here now. Everything has got to be now. It's instant gratification, no waiting, no time, right? And so here's the thing. He's saying the big money is in the waiting. The big money is in the waiting. And I want to talk to you about why that is. So let's again look at an example here. Let's take a piece of property, real estate, for example. Okay, and let's put it there a timeline. So let's say you have a piece of real estate that pays you monthly income. And we've got various timelines. We've got 1 year. We've got 3 years. We've got 5 years. 7, right? 10, and so on. What does waiting mean? Waiting means do nothing. Literally just let it ride. Right? Anyone that's ever waited for something, it's a passive activity, isn't it? If you're waiting for your wife at the store, she's going to the bathroom and you're holding the purse, that's a passive activity. You're just standing there and you're waiting for this thing to be done. So he's saying the big money with investing is in the waiting. So that would mean you buy the property, and he's saying when you insert time, the more time you have, the more money you're going to make. Right? And over here would be big. The longer you wait, the bigger the money. And I want to share an example of this. This is a client I was talking to recently. Right? They bought some properties and they're like, why aren't they going fast enough? Why aren't there people in them already? How come they're not sold yet? Right? And here's the thing is we're not trying to get people in them now that are going to leave immediately. We want people in them that are going to stay in, because the longer you wait with that asset, the more money you make. So let's take this example. We buy a property and nobody moves in for a little while. Okay. True or false, owning that property, even without someone in it, over time, you're going to make money because the value of that property will go up. That's a true statement. Okay. So what about this then? Once someone moves in, if they're the right person and you're willing to wait for the right person, you're going to make more money off of that person. Why? Because they're going to pay you every month for a longer period of time in the property. True or false? That's true. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. Okay, so then let's reverse it. Let's say we remove time. Okay, we don't wait. I buy the property now. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to get rid of it. If you bought it today and you're selling it tomorrow, probably you're not going to make very big money, right? Okay, now let's talk about the people moving in. If you let people move in just for the sake of getting someone in very quickly, very fast, and you're not like, hey, I'm willing to wait 6 months or a year and a half or whatever it might be. We're not talking about rentals here. We're talking about seller finance, which is a mortgage. You want someone in there for 20 years. So I am willing to wait for, let's say, 2 years to have someone pay me for 20. Are you? I want you to think about that. Are you willing to wait 2 years for someone to pay you for 20 or 1 year for someone to pay you for 20? Right? The longer you wait, the more money you make. Okay. Now, if we put someone in very rapidly, say, I'm not willing to wait. I want to get the first person in there. Okay. Well, you're not really doing as good of a job vetting. I want you to think about if this was a relationship. You were going to marry this person. Would you be like, it needs to be now, it needs to be immediate, every day that passes is worse, I'm willing to take whoever it is? No, you'd be picky. You would be picky because in real estate, you're not investing in a house, you're investing in the people. This is the thing nobody gets about real estate. You're not investing in the property, you're investing in the people. The people are the reason you get paid, not the house. So I want the right people, just like in a relationship, just like with a business partnership. I want the right people. They move in, and they're going to stay and they're going to pay me as agreed. And that's going to be bigger money versus I quickly get someone in. They're not the right people. Maybe they destroy the property. Maybe they quit paying. And then I've got to go back through the hassle of fixing it, putting someone new in, etc. I would rather wait longer on the front end to be able to wait longer on the back end while I get paid for that back end period of time because the family stays. Okay, let's talk about precious metals. Let's remove real estate because sometimes we see real estate only through a specific lens. Let's talk about precious metals here. Right? You buy gold and you lease the gold out. This is something called gold leasing, right? So with gold leasing, you get the appreciation of the gold and then you also get the income from that lease. Now, if you look at the same thing, the longer I wait, the bigger the money. If I look at gold over the last 10 years, it's done very well. Right? I was talking to a client last week. We did gold with him about 5 years ago. He's made 150% return. 150%. He's more than doubled his money over the last 5 years. Okay, that's pretty incredible, right? So that's a 5-year wait. I tell people all the time with precious metals, if you're not willing to wait 5 years, don't even get in. Why? Not because it's wrong to have shorter time, but the bigger money is in the wait. The longer you wait, the more money you're going to have. Okay, so this is from Charlie Munger again, guys. I want to read this quote one final time. Charlie Munger, the big money is not in the buying and selling, but in the waiting. So if you're investing right now, I want to encourage you guys, follow Charlie's advice on this. Be a patient investor. Be willing to wait. Okay, now waiting can mean that you wait to get into an investment, sometimes rushing into one. I see people doing this as well, where they get some money and it's like, if they don't invest it now, they're going to die. I got to put it in a deal. I got to do a real estate. I got to be an investor. I got to do stocks. I got to put it in my retirement account. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's better to leave the money sitting on the sidelines. Okay, I've got a client. He's got several $1 million in cash right now from a business he just sold. We're not really rushing into the investing, right? It's on the sidelines. That's fine. Why? Because we're waiting for the right opportunity for him. There are so many investments out there. You don't need to jump on one just to jump on one. Okay, be willing to wait, be willing to be patient. Entering into an investment. Once you get into the investment, be willing to wait and be patient for it to make money. When you want to get out of investments, Be willing to wait and be patient for the right time to exit. I've got someone right now, unfortunately, they're not listening to this. They're selling properties that are, if they would wait, they're going to make money. It's imminent. Literally, it's ridiculous. People are going to move in already. They're ready to sign contracts. And this person wants to sell the properties because they can't wait. They want the cash. They're like, well, I want to buy this. I want to buy this thing. And then I'm looking at this investment that I had. I want to sell it and get rid of it so I can buy this thing that's going to cost me money instead of making money. I can't wait. They're going to lose money on that sale. Why? Because they're not listening to Charlie. Okay, the money is made by waiting when it comes to investing. That's my Fetta fact today. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below if you have any thoughts or questions. Get the book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Jerry Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the Blueprint to Financial Freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.